let's talk Proverbs 31. So this proverb is actually the last proverb out of the book of Proverbs, and Proverbs just means pithy sayings. So these are things that, little words and phrases that you can keep with you that'll really help to keep you wise, along with prayer and keeping God's commandments, of course. The first 10 to 11 verses in it is the king's mother speaking. She's encouraging him not to get drunk and to really make sure that he is a good and wise king that sticks up for the poor. And then the meat and potatoes of it, which a lot of Christian women talk about, and even Christian men talk about, that they want a Proverbs 31 woman, is verses like 10 or 11 all the way down to verse 31. And so in that, the king's mother is again telling him what kind of woman that he should pursue. The Proverbs 31 woman is someone who is a worker. She also works her mind and her heart out spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, to help keep her marriage afloat, to help keep her kids submitted to Christ, and just for her to be submitted to Christ as herself. And so maybe if you're in the summer and you're like, well, I'm unemployed, there are still things that you can work on yourself, mending relationships with different people, working on your relationship with God. There's always something to work on. The second thing that is that a Proverbs 31 woman, she rises at night to get things done. So it is currently 6:53 in the morning. The sun rose probably like 20 minutes ago. I've been up for an hour or so, and I did that on purpose. For me, it is summer. I would much rather be asleep right now, but I'm forcing myself to get up so that I can make sure that I spend time with God early in the morning when it's quiet in the house, because I do have 5 siblings. And then also just making sure that I prioritize running and working out and doing things like that, which I love to do, just not out in 100-degree weather. A Proverbs 31 woman is someone who, you wake up early, and it's hard. It's hard. I had to use the app Alarmy to wake me up, but we're here. That's all that matters. Also, a Proverbs 31 woman is someone who is financially wise. This is one that I really struggle with a lot, but we will get there in Jesus' name. I also forgot to add this one, but a Proverbs 31 woman is not lazy. Of course, I struggle with that too. She's also somebody who is strong. So she works out. She is strong mentally, physically, and emotionally. She is someone who helps those in need, which is also really important. Even if you don't have money, you can still help the needy by doing various things, praying for them, maybe getting them to point A or point B. And it's very important to understand the difference between somebody who wants something from you versus someone who is actually in need. So make sure that you pray and use discernment. She is also someone who, this doesn't explicitly mention it, but for us as Christian women, we should always be called to spread the gospel. It's something as simple as you could talk to a stranger, which, be careful because people are crazy. But you can also leave like different sticky notes in different places if you're just starting out. That is something that I started off doing at my first college because I was very shy. She's also someone who dresses herself well, and a lot of times, a lot of Christian women and even Christian men speak on modesty. The English version of modesty just means to do things in moderation. Follow the conviction in your heart. You know what things are permissible and what things aren't. If you're not feeling peace over an outfit or over something that you're wearing or even thinking about wearing, you really need to take that to God to discern whether or not that's fear, because maybe you were in a household who they said that certain things weren't modest, even though for you they are. You just gotta be very careful and take everything back to God. She dressed very nice. It doesn't mean that she was in Prada and Gucci and all of those things. She was also someone who spoke with wisdom. This is of the utmost importance. I actually did a video on this literally this week, but speaking with wisdom and just speaking well as a young woman, any Christian period, but as a young woman, it really shows that you have class, that you have grace, that you have poise. Make sure that when you talk, it's with grace, not with you talking about how big somebody's back is, or you talking about the fact that, oh yeah, did you hear such and such got their kids taken away from them, or oh yeah, did you know that this person XYZ da da da. Don't do it, because then at that point you're being used as Satan's instrument.